Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Annette, also known as Grandma D, and today we are back for another storytime video. Yay! I have found I think this is a partial series of books. They were given to me and I'm not sure if they're all here or not, but I thought we're going to read these anyway because they're pretty special. These are all about Winnie the Pooh and his little friends in the 100-Acre Wood. And these books, as I said, were given to me to read on my channel. So thank you very much to the person who gifted them to me. First one is Winnie the Pooh's Valentine. And the second one is Winnie the Pooh's Easter. And the third one is Winnie the Pooh's Thanksgiving. Yay! We have Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Eeyore, Owl, Piglet, and Christopher Robin, the little boy who created these in his imagination. Today, we are going to start with Winnie the Pooh's Valentine. We're going to take them in order: Valentine's Day, Easter, and then Thanksgiving. These are by Bruce Talkington and illustrated by John Kurtz. They're a Disney book. And I am an Amazon affiliate and I'm an affiliate with Thrift Books. So as we read these and you think you might like to have them for your own library, you can follow my links to Amazon and Thrift Books, and they will be in the notes below this video. And maybe you can get a set for yourself. They might even have the entire set because I expect that there's more holidays than just these in this series. So without any further ado, we are going to get started with Winnie the Pooh's Valentine. So I hope you're all tucked in with your blanket and your favorite drink or a snack, or with your adult or a friend, and you're ready for a story time with Grandma. So let's get started. Winnie the Pooh's Valentine. It was easy to see what day it was in the 100-Acre Wood. Birds cuddled in pairs on drooping limbs and were loudly chirping duets. Friendly breezes tickled the leaves of the trees until they fluttered with laughter. Saplings shyly touched and bending close exchanged sweet secrets in restless whispers. It always seemed on Valentine's Day that things were more tightly wrapped around each other than usual, as if Mother and Father Nature were taking advantage of the day to share an extra large hug. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I think that's Winnie the Pooh's house. We'll find out. At Winnie the Pooh's house, things were taking on a decidedly heartfelt appearance, mostly because Pooh had just finished tacking up his felt hearts. Bright red, of course, in all the most strategic places. Owl had once explained meant. Okay, let's do that one more time. In all the most strategic places. Strategic, Owl had once explained, meant that the places where things were sure to be in the way and therefore attract the most attention. At least that's how Pooh remembered Owl explaining it, which, as far as he was concerned, made it as true as if Owl had actually said it that way, which he hadn't. Pooh's happy contemplation of his handiwork was suddenly interrupted by a quiet voice saying, "Pooh Bear," in a most polite tone. There's all his hearts he has up everywhere in his house on the walls, and there's his paper where he cut out his hearts. Aw, who's that? Is that Piglet? Oh no, that's the baby kangaroo. That's not Piglet. How about that, huh? Startled, Pooh turned so quickly he bumped his nose on a felt heart tacked to the back of a very hard door. Oh, bother, sniffled Pooh as he noticed Roo standing anxiously in the middle of his parlor floor. Why, hello, little Roo, he exclaimed, almost forgetting his sore nose in the delight of seeing his friend. Hello, Pooh, responded Roo. Is that felt? He asked, pointing to the heart. Pooh cautiously rubbed his nose. Oh, I felt it all right, he assured Roo woefully. No, said Roo, is that heart felt? Oh, said Pooh, not really understanding the question. So, not feeling the least bit guilty at responding with an answer he found equally confusing. No, I don't think the heart felt it at all. That wasn't what Roo meant. He meant, was it felt fabric? I'm pretty sure that's what he meant. Roo smiled brightly at the bear, a very little brain, and knew that it was time to talk about something else. Would you mind terribly, he asked politely, if we talk about something else besides your felt hearts? That would be wonderful, breathed Pooh in relief. What did you have in mind? I want to give a Valentine to my mom, Roo whispered, but I don't know how. Oh, you think Pooh can help him do a Valentine for his mother? Neither do I, laughed Pooh, who was always delighted to agree with someone about something. But his laughter ceased as soon as he saw the look on little Roo's face. Then what'll I do? Piped Roo, feeling a distress so profound he could hardly keep his eyes from filling with tears. What will we do? Said Pooh, taking Roo's hand in his own, is find out. They're talking about it. They're going to figure it out. In no time at all, Pooh and Roo had gathered together all their best friends, Piglet, Tigger, Rabbit, Gopher, and of course Eeyore, and put Roo's question to them. Well, suggested Piglet in a very small voice, the most important thing about a Valentine you give someone is that it says, I love you. Yay, agreed Tigger, bouncing around Pooh's parlor in excitement. And it's got to say it in bright colors. Impressive, whistled Gopher. It's got to be impressive because saying I love you is a pretty impressive proposition. He ended with an impressive snap of his fingers. Oh, I have a hard time snapping my fingers. There we go. And because I love you are the most important words one person can say to another, sniffed Rabbit knowingly, a Valentine should say them in as many different ways as possible. What do you think, Eeyore? Pooh asked the donkey, who was being even more silent than usual. Well, since you're asking, rumbled Eeyore in his very slow way, I suppose the sort of Valentine you're planning is definitely one way of going about it. There's Eeyore. There's Tigger. There's Roo and Piglet and Rabbit. Then what are we waiting for? Hooted Tigger. Christmas? I'll get my tools, said Gopher gleefully. I'll get my dictionary, said Rabbit. I'll clean up when we're through, said Piglet. And I'll tell you what I think of when it's finished, announced Eeyore. if anyone is interested in that. Poor Eeyore. Considering the immensity of the undertaking that lay before them, Kanga's Valentine took shape in a surprisingly short space of time. Look at all the hearts he's got on the outside. They're even hanging on the bushes outside. Sounds like Valentine's Day is a pretty important day to them. Gopher chiseled a huge heart out of a boulder he had been saving for just such a special occasion. It was twice as tall as Tigger, balanced on the very tip top of his tail. Impressive, everyone told Gopher when he was done. The impressible feline wasted not a moment painting the heart in the most spectacular colors he could think of, bright orange with black stripes. Imagine that. Positively splendiferous, Tigger purred when he completed his task. And as Piglet swept up the work area, Roo climbed up onto the obliging Eeyore's back and wrote, "I love you" on the heart in his very best printing. Everyone agreed that although it was very small as printing goes, it couldn't have been more neatly done. Look at and his writing is right there. You can barely see it. Then, after consulting a dictionary so thick he had to haul it all the way from his house in a wheelbarrow, Rabbit added a great many words and phrases, including "kiss me goodnight" and "do your homework" and "eat your vegetables," as well as "smooch face," "pookamus," and Rabbit's personal favorite, "snuggle bunny." He assured the others that all these things said precisely the same thing that Roo had printed, only in different ways. Oh, how about that? Look at that dictionary. Oh my goodness. A lot of words in there. The completed project was a magnificent, no, an impressive sight. The friends were all quite pleased with themselves, until Roo, after studying the Valentine for some time, suddenly blurted out, "But how am I going to get this to my mother?" Spirits plummeted. No one had thought of how this Valentine was going to be delivered to Kanga. Mailing it was out of the question. Even if an envelope of proper size could have been produced in time, the correct number of postage stamps would have weighed more than the Valentine itself. Uh-oh. Now they got to really think about it, huh? I wonder what they're going to do. Sitting in a sad little circle, the friends were unable to come up with any helpful ideas at all. "I guess we're finished," sighed Tigger hopelessly. "Then now's the time. I'll tell you what I thought," announced Eeyore, "if you really want to know, that is." "Oh, I think we really want to know, Eeyore," said Pooh. "I think," said Eeyore, even more ponderously than usual, "what I thought all along. The Valentine is definitely one way of doing it." "Why, Eeyore," exclaimed Pooh, "I believe that's very helpful." "It is?" brayed the startled donkey. "It is?" repeated the others in a single surprised voice. That is a big heart. "Certainly," exclaimed Pooh, furrowing his brow. "If this is one way of doing a Valentine, that means there must be two ways. One does not, after all, mean only. It means that something before the next thing, doesn't it?" Everyone exchanged amazed smiles and nods as Roo leaped excitedly to his feet. "You're right, Pooh. You're right," he shouted. "And I know exactly what the next thing is, thanks to all of you." Oh, somebody's getting an idea churning in their head. I wonder what it's going to be. That evening, at just about supper time, according to the rumblings of Pooh's tummy, they all watched as Roo presented his mother Kanga with a handful of beautiful flowers. "These flowers," exclaimed Roo to Kanga, "say, I love you." Pooh poked Piglet to make sure he'd heard, but the smile on Piglet's face revealed he hadn't missed a thing. Oh, look at. Do you bring flowers to those that you love? Your adult, maybe your grandma or your mother or your father, uncles, aunts, friends, cousins, teacher at school. Andrew continued, "They say it in very bright colors." Tigger puffed out his chest as far as he could and nearly fell off his tail. "And because the flowers are different kinds, they all say I love you in lots of different ways." Rabbit remarked that he had something in his eye so no one should think he was crying or anything. And, said Roo, completing the presentation, "They're the most impressive Valentine I could carry all by myself." Gopher blew his nose into a brightly patterned bandana. Look. Aw, how precious. I love getting flowers. Have you ever had anyone give you flowers before? "Thank you, Roo, dear," smiled Kanga, sniffing the flowers. She added, "I couldn't have asked for a more perfect Valentine." As mother and son embraced, Tigger leaned over to Pooh and whispered, "But what'll we do with the Valentine we made?" "Keep it right where it is," Pooh whispered back. "It will remind us that there can be a lot of I love you in every day if you know just where to look for it." What a lovely gift. What a great end to a very confusing and thought-filled day. Winnie the Pooh's Valentine. I hope you enjoyed this story as much as I enjoyed reading it to you. And look at, these are even in the shape of a heart here, the leaves on the side of the page and all the hearts around the outside. What a sweet story. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's story, Winnie the Pooh's Valentine, and I hope that you'll come back next time as we continue our series with Winnie the Pooh's Easter. And then, lastly, we'll do Winnie the Pooh's Thanksgiving. So this is Grandma D saying, I love you, I care about you, and I think about you, and I'm so glad you're here. And I hope that you will subscribe to my channel and like this video and click the notification bell so that you'll know each time a new story time comes out. So I'm sending you warm hugs and butterfly kisses and saying I hope you have a wonderful day today and a better day tomorrow. And I hope you had a wonderful 4th of July and you got to see fireworks, have a nice meal with your friends or family, whoever you're with. So we'll sign off for now, and we'll see you next time for our next story time. You have a great day. Bye-bye for now.